Small-minded nitpicker. A lot of my videos are basically centered around inspiration for you, to you. The fact of the matter is what really matters the most in life in general. There are things that are not that important. And as you get older, you kind of really don't have time anymore for a lot of the spouting of them who are still, well, spouting in their little world. And to be caught in the environment of somebody where you're basically, well, you can be and you can't be, but you can be at their mercy, whether it be you're renting from them or as a friend that you know that you're a little bit too kind to tell that friend that you basically, this is it. You're not exactly quality material. And these things can really be hard because nobody likes to go through life, especially an empath. Empaths don't go through their life trying to make at least trying to make anybody feel bad about themselves because they like to build up people. That's where you get the word encourager, the person who is an encourager. You'll find empaths are a lot like this. They're very encouraging people. Even just to have them in your environment, that the air is always lighter. A nitpicker has a very strange way of conducting, term conducting your business. You can, for example, be helping a nitpicker, and you don't really necessarily have to be doing it. You're under no obligation, but someone they formed in their mind, because you're doing what you're doing, they assume you're doing it for them. Therefore, they have a certain level of a superior position to you because you're in service to them. And this is the way narcissists basically see a transaction with another person. They don't see it as being helpful. They don't see that person as basically being a little decent or doing something to alleviate the pressure off the narcissist's shoulders. They make things a little lighter for the narcissist, right? Or anyone in general. These shallow, low-minded, small-minded, that is very small-minded. I mean, certain things in life are not really as important as a nitpicker will pick at. And the reason why they do a lot of the picking that they do is because they are in consistent state that they can't bring it. They know their inadequacies. They're fully well aware that they have not really graduated to be a highly competent or a person who can bring a certain level of expertise to anything they're doing. The Bible says that the people who basically walk in a straight line, they avoid wickedness. They're the kind that don't even believe in sitting in the seat of a scorning other people. They keep themselves safe and also clean from a lot of these low vibrational qualities. It says that whatever they do, it shall prosper. They can bring it. You can talk about a many gifted person. And in a lot of ways, it's because people who are confident, truly confident, is because they have the goods inside. They have the goodness inside of them. And that equates a certain level of confidence. They exude that confidence. The nitpicker picks up on that. And I think that's why nitpickers like to pick at little things that are not really as important, is because they got to find, and because they're looking for it, they have to find a small level of fault. I'll give you an example. I'm shoveling the snow with the person I'm living at. And by the way, I don't have to do it. Renters don't have to shovel the snow. That is really up to the landlord to do that. Well, you do it. I do it because, hey, It's a thing to do. I got my car in the driveway. I don't want to pay. I don't want the snow to be all over the place. When I feel that the person, other people in the environment are not really doing how can I put it? They're going the extra mile to make it always, make the driveway always looking good, right? They just take a kind of a lackadaisical attitude towards life, right? Or even something that needs to be done. Anyhow, I'm shoveling, and she comes out with her shovel and she starts shoveling, and I'm watching her shovel, and I notice that it's a kind of a half-ass. Ain't really got too much power. Ain't got too much pizzazz. Just do it, like just put something into it. And that's the thing about I find about nitpickers. Anyone who's small-minded, they really bring a very kind of a low kind of they don't really put a whole lot into anything. It's a half-ass kind of middle area, not 100% they bring, because and I assume because they just can't. It maybe laziness, and I'm shoveling away, and some the shovel got onto part of the gravel. Now it's covered in snow, right? How am I supposed to know? Well, of course, she's ready to basically say, "Oh, don't touch the gravel," blah blah blah. And she goes over and starts adjust the gravel to her precious little gravel may actually be put out. Oh, right. And I'm looking over. There was hardly any movement on the shovel onto the gravel, but it catches your attention because the immediate response you get from when anybody chooses to nitpick is you either go in a place of discomfort. And I'm of the thing that if you're gonna say one thing that maybe in a realm of correction, you bring two encouragements with it. Because when people assume, okay, when people assume that you are obligated or on some level of obligation, they've assumed a title in the environment. And you're really just not you're secondary. You're basically considered how can I put it, a secondhand helper, right? And it's interesting because when you, anyone for that matter, bring a certain level of pizzazz to any kind of even a connection with another person, and you're all about even seeing them in a light that they don't really have, you're projecting an image onto them that they really are not. And in a lot of ways, when people do what they do, especially in the area of nitpicking, they're affirming who they are. And it's good to grow from that because it helps you to realize that the problem does not lie in the reaction that you're receiving from them. The problem lies in the fact that they are looking for a reaction. The thing is about when people consistently try to downgrade other people, I find I found a lot of times is because they have good reason to, and the reason is that they don't like the fact how you make them feel. I've heard it said before that people, whenever they bring any kind of nonsense into the environment, is because they have experienced the mirror. You're basically mirroring to them who they're not. You're showing them something of an inadequacy that they possess. And they have to, in so many ways, make you feel the way they always do. If you're in work or whatever you're doing and you have a certain level of professionalism, it just comes to you. You can be doing carpentry, you can be doing road work, office work, whatever the case is, or even a musician, whatever. You have that special spark. You can be guaranteed that people around you, they are in the business of not liking the spark. And they'll do everything they can to put out the spark before the fire of your light gets turned on. Let your light so shine before men. And I've learned more than anything else that if you're ever caught in any kind of discomfort with anyone, and no matter the scenario could be so different in so many respects, when they make you feel what they're trying to do, is you understand they are trying to do it. They are trying to do it. There are so many things about a small-minded person is that they really don't have a big mind and they don't have a big heart. And because they don't have a big mind, their eyes are so small. Their world is so small. And when you come bringing bigness, whatever you're doing in the environment, they have a hard time with that. And I think that's a problem with people who are small minded and nitpicking and people who like to find little faults here and there. Yeah, I'm of the opinion, and I believe it's a good one anyway. And it's not of an opinion, a belief system that, man, if someone's doing something good and they're making your life a little easier, it doesn't hurt to shut your trap and kind of like not make waves. It's not necessary. Because if people go out of their way and they're bringing their best, is because they're bringing character to you and to the environment. And they don't need to be made aware that what they're doing is wrong when their intentions are right. And I'll just leave you with that. A small minded nitpicker, for some reason, is blinded to the fact that they are looking for offenses when there's none. And they are so jaded by their own blinded mind that they don't seem to see that you are of well intentioned and you're well mannered because they live in a consistent state that the world that they know and the people that they know are of a certain species and they're just going to behave any old way they can with that. And you can bring your best and they don't care because they always operate on the less. They're not best. They're less. You all have a good day. And yeah, for my channel, please do like and subscribe. Thank you.